Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotra Sadasri Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Sheila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Samaveta Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Vishitarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikhi. Today we are continuing to read from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. Text 58. Ata naghangres tava kirti tirtayor antar bahisnana viduta papmanam bhuteshu anukrosha sutattva shilanam syat sangamo nugraha esha nastava ata naghangres tava kirti tirtayor antar bahisnana viduta papmanam bhuteshu anukrosha sutattva shilanam syat sangamo nugraha esha nastava ata naghangres tava kirti tirtayor antar bahisnana vibhuta papmanam bhuteshu anukrosha sutattva silanam syat sangamo nugraha esha nastava ata naghangres tava kirti tirtayor antar bahisnana vibhuta papmanam bhuteshu anukrosha sutattva silanam Matajis. Atana Kangres Tava Kirti Tirtayor Antar Bahisnana Viduta Papmanam Subhuteshu Anukrosha Sutattva Shilanam Syat Sangamo Nugraha Esha Nastava. Anyone else wants to try? Atana Kangres Tava Kirti Tirtayor Antar Bahisnana Vibhuta Papmanam Bhuteshu Anukrosha Sutattva Silanam Syat Sangamo Nugraha Esha Nastava. Ata, therefore, Anaga Angrahe of my Lord, whose lotus feet destroys all inauspiciousness. Tava, your Kirti, glorification. Tirtayo, the holy Ganges water. Antaha, within. Bahihi, and outside. Snana, taking bath. Viduta, washed. Papmanam, contaminated state of mind. Bhuteshu, unto the ordinary living beings. Anukrosha, benediction or mercy. Sutattva, completely in goodness. Shilanam, of those who possess such characteristics. Syat, let there be. Sangamaha, association. Anugraha, mercy. Eshaha, this. Naha, unto us. Tava, your. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, your lotus feet are the cause of all auspicious things and the destroyer of all the contamination of sin. I therefore beg your Lordship to bless me by the association of your devotees who are completely purified by worshipping your lotus feet and who are so merciful upon the conditioned souls. I think that your real benediction will be to allow me to associate with such devotees. Purport. The Ganges water is celebrated as being able to eradicate all kinds of sinful reactions. In other words, when a person takes his bath in the Ganges, he becomes freed from all life's contaminations. The Ganges water is celebrated in this way because it emanates from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, those who are directly in touch with the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who are absorbed in the chanting of His glories are freed from all material contamination. Such unalloyed devotees are able to show mercy to the common conditioned soul. Srila Vrindavan Dāsa Thakura has sung that the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are so powerful that each one of them can deliver a universe. I read again. Lord Chaitanya, the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are so powerful that each one of them can deliver a universe. In other words, it is the business of devotees to preach the glories of the Lord and deliver all conditioned souls to the platform of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. Here the word Sutattva means Shuddha Sattva, the transcendental stage beyond material goodness. By his exemplary prayers, Lord Shiva teaches us that our best course is to take shelter of Lord Vishnu and his Vaishnava devotees. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Lord Shiva becomes more auspicious by taking the water of Ganges on his head. That's how the section where Lord Kapila is talking about how the yogi has to meditate on the different limbs of the Lord. So the meditation of a yogi first happens at a very, general way. He's seeing the form of the Lord. But then the meditation kind of zooms into every part of the Lord's body. So first the yogi is asked to concentrate on the feet of the Lord. Sanchintayet Bhagavatas Charanaravindam. So you're asked to meditate on the feet of the Lord. So what are the marks that are found on the feet of the Lord? Vajra, Angusa, Dvaja, Saroruha, Lanchanardam. So thunderbolt, conch, and other auspicious marks decorate the feet of the Lord, and especially the thunderbolt. Now, what does the thunderbolt do is it smashes the mountain of sins which the conditioned soul has done. Vajrangusa dvaja saroruha lanchanartam uttunga rakta vilasan nakachakravalam. So, the feet of the Lord is described as with a reddish color, and it is glowing, and that glow and the thunderbolt on the feet of the Lord actually smash the mountain of sins which the conditioned soul has committed. And it removes the darkness of the heart, in the heart of the yogi, by the brightness. Joshnadivir agatam mahat hridaya andakaram. Andakaram means darkness. So, by the light emanating from the feet of the Lord, which has got the auspicious signs, the darkness of the conditioned soul, in the heart of the conditioned soul, is removed. So, in the next verse, there is a mention of how Ganges emanates from the feet of the Lord. The blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy waters of the Ganges, which has its source in the water that wash the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet act like thunderbolts hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time. Shiva, Shivo Bhut means Shiva is already auspicious. He becomes more auspicious by carrying on his head the water that is emanating from the feet of the Lord, which is Ganges. So the first half of the purport, the first few lines of the purport talks about how the cleansing effect of Ganges and also the cleansing effect of the lotus feet of the Lord. And later on, a devotee who is always meditating on the feet of the Lord, how he becomes purified, how he attains the pure goodness platform. And such pure devotees don't sit idle. What was the line that I repeated in the purport? What do? Yeah. They are able to deliver the whole universe. So they are delivering the conditioned souls. They don't just take the conditioned souls out of ignorance to passion to goodness. They take them all the way up to suddha sattva, pure goodness. And then the other important aspect that is brought out is the way that Lord Shiva is asking for a benediction, which is to allow him to associate with such devotees. Lord Shiva is Mahajan himself, and he knows the value of devotee association. He knows the power of the lotus feet of the Lord and how by meditating on it, what effect it produces. Here, he is voluntarily giving these prayers to the sons of the Prachetas. So he is showing that merciful aspect of a Vaishnava who is willing to guide others who may be contaminated by the modes of ignorance, passion or goodness to get to the platform of pure goodness. Now, what is the state of the conditioned soul? Let's look at it. The conditioned soul is bound by powerful senses which pull him to different sense objects. Bhagavatam describes about how the eyes of a conditioned soul are attracted to a form just like a moth is attracted to fire. Then it goes on to describe how the ears are getting attracted to sound just like a deer is getting attracted to the sound produced by the hunter. Eyes, ears, what next? Nose. What's the example given in the Bhagavatam for nose? Anyone remembers? Which animal or insect or gets attracted by... elephant is by the touch, that's good. Elephant gets attracted by the touch of the she-elephant and then gets trapped, good. Then the nose, we are looking at nose, what sense object, Musk deer is for the ears, is it? Okay. Musk deer is for the... I thought it was for the smell. No, it's for the ears, is it? For the music? Smell, okay. The bees get attracted to the flower by the smell and then the flower gets closed and get trapped. Like that. Now every sense organ is like radar. If you imagine, it's always scanning for things to enjoy, just like we are glued to our mobile phone. That I was reading the one of the images that came through, that the weight of the head is probably 3 to 5 kgs, and then if it's kept in the straight angle, it's okay, but then if it's inclined at this angle, the weight increases, inclined further, so the eyes want to get glued to a particular form, and without understanding, we are putting too much pressure on the neck, and the posture becomes by default like this. Unfortunately, it is affecting the younger generation, but all the chiropractors and physiotherapists will make a good living out of it, because by default everybody will be walking like this. So they have a good market for them. So the eyes get glued to a particular object, because every sense organ is scanning. So as you're moving, the eyes is scanning for something to look, the ears is scanning for something to hear, the nose is scanning for something to smell. So that's why if we walk through some malls, the Subway or other shops, they deliberately make sure that the smell of the shop gets to the whoever comes to the mall, they should be able to smell what's in there. Why? I forgot to mention, the fish is for the tongue. It gets caught because of the bait. It wants to taste a worm, so then there's so the tongue. So the fish is given as an example. So coming back to this scenario where, so you're walking past, so the smell of the food attracts you, then the tongue gets attracted to it, and then we go towards. So constantly there is a scanning going on. Every sense organ wants to enjoy some sense object, And when such sense objects, you come in contact with that, you start enjoying, then are you satisfied? Krishna describes that the crying of the senses is like the burning of fire. It never gets satisfied. Dushpurena analena cha. So we are scanning around with all these senses in our body. Then the impressions go and get stored in the mind, and then mind fantasies and then wants to enjoy further. And these impressions are going and getting stored in the memory. So as devotees, we restrain ourselves from certain sense objects. Why? Because we wanted to do devotional service, so anything that's not conducive to devotional service we try to avoid. But because I'm talking from my own experience, because I'm not completely purified, even though I restrain myself from the sense objects, the mind has already entered the sense objects and the sense objects have already entered the mind, and the impression is come into my subconsciousness. So while I am in the midst of the devotees, I tend to behave properly. But then when I'm alone, and especially when I'm about to go to sleep, all these inputs that I have taken from the sense objects are going to manifest, and it is going to come as a part of my dreams. So what do we fill in throughout the day? What are we scanning upon? What are we dwelling upon? What are we contemplating upon? Even though we restrict ourselves, the sense organ and the sense object are not in contact, still the mind is dwelling on it and there is a desire to enjoy, and because there is a restriction now in the dream, you get to, you kind of go through, it's like scanning through a garbage and trying to relish something out of it. So whatever we put in is garbage. So that's what gets scanned again, and then it comes up. And in the dream there's no one watching, so you try to enjoy. I was reading this book by Satsvarup Maharaj, Obstacles in the Path of Devotional Service, where he mentions that living in the city, you have to come across a lot of billboards or signboards or whatever it is, and not all of them are very spiritual. So for marketing any product, the form is used, whether it's a form of a male or a female, is used. And depending on whatever gender you are, you get attracted to the opposite gender. So Maharaj mentions that we can't walk around, I'm paraphrasing his words, we can't walk around with our eyes closed. We cannot operate in a city life like that. Then what do? When such temptations are put in front of us, we can't close our eyes and walk past. So what is recommended is, don't take a second or a third look or a fourth look at that particular signboard. You're going past it, whatever came. So that's the restriction that we have to, it's more a self-imposed. Nobody is going to go through, scanned report, Adi Puruṣa Das went through city and then he looked at this 4 times, 3 times. No. It's up to us to check. Now, the sense object, the form has bewildered you and it has entered your consciousness and you are disturbed by it. Let's take that scenario. Now, there will be a voice in your head which says, It's okay. Why? Because you're used to dwelling on the images that you have scanned during the day, in the night. So the voice which says it's okay is making sure that you can dwell on those sense objects later on when nobody's around. I heard a lecture by His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu where he gives the example of photo films. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Earlier, there's no digital camera, so we used to take pictures and then it has to be printed in a sheet of paper. It has to go to a dark room and they will clean it with an... You're familiar with that? Yes. Yeah. So, if the film is exposed to sun, whatever is stored in it will get erased, damaged. So, there was no instant photos at that period. So, we had to go, take a picture and then we'll wait. Probably it'll take a couple of days, then we'll come back and collect it. So there's a big studio, there's a dark room. So where all the negatives will be collected and then they will start washing it and then the image comes up. If that film is exposed to sun, whatever is captured will be erased. So what Prabhu is mentioning is, yes, we can't avoid images coming and getting stored in us, and when you know that you got bewildered by a particular sense object, instead of secretly keeping it, go in front of Guru and Krishna and expose, this is what I've got in my consciousness. So allow them to come in, so they will act like sun to eradicate whatever contamination has gone in. Now the choice is still with us, whether we want to expose our weakness in front of the Lord, Guru and Krishna, or we want to secretly keep, and when there's nobody around, dwell on it, munch and contemplate, and over a period act on it. So such contemplation in some cases may even result in you losing your vital energy. Then what's the solution? In fact, yesterday we were discussing in Prasadam Hall with Vijay Prabhu about the dreams that we get. And then the point was brought out that during the day, if I am able to consciously engage myself in devotional service, throughout the day I am occupied, the senses are getting engaged in a particular service of the Lord and they are given full engagement. What was brought out is that now when you are sleeping, now the mind will start to munch on that. Oh, that service. Oh, I could have cleaned the temple nicely, or I could have... So you want to do, but because the body is lying down, the mind will munch on those activities you did, devotional activities you did throughout the day. If you are completely absorbed in those devotional activities, that's what the subconscious mind will have, and then it will show up, and that's what you want to do. Because the body is now resting, your mind will dwell on that. Maybe in your dreams you'll be distributing books, or in your dreams you'll be washing the dishes or cleaning the temple. So this is how the expert devotees who have attained the Suddha Sattva platform, they create a variety of services for us, conditioned souls. I was just spending a lot of time on the word conditioned souls. So such unalloyed devotees are able to show mercy to the common conditioned souls. How are they showing mercy? As I told earlier, every sense organ in me is like a radar scanning around. What can I enjoy? What can I enjoy? Why? It's just taking inputs. Okay, now here is an expert devotee. Okay, you're scanning around, come. We got a nice form of the Lord to look at. Okay, keep scanning and looking at the form of the Lord. So eyes have got something to look at. Okay, You want nice something to smell nicely. There's a tulasi which is offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, flowers that are offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, temple environment as incense. Come, scan through this environment, take those sense objects, put it in your sense organ. That's what you want. Then there is Charanamrit of the Lord, there is Prasadam, which again, the most difficult organ in the body to control. What do we sing before taking prasadam? Sharira, avidya, jal. Can we sing together? Slowly, contemplating on the meaning. Sharira, avidya, jal. Then jada, indriya, tahe kal. Then jive, pele, vishaya, sagore. Okay, prasadam is not ready. We'll wait. So the point is, the most toughest organ to control is my tongue. And how are we advised to control that? By taking prasadam. So what I've started doing is, at least I've started to consciously chant the prasadam prayers, contemplating on the meaning. Earlier it used to be, the plate is ready, you're about to devour it, and you've taken the spoon, you almost put it in mouth. Oh my God, I should recite something. That's it. So instead of that, recently I've started to consciously tell, tongue is getting attracted to, there's an equivalent. Now body, so that's why the famous verse of Ambarish Maharaj is there, where every sense object is given an engagement. Anybody knows that? It's very often quoted by Aniruddha Prabhu. Just like no lecture of Radhanath Maharaj goes without Trinadapi Sunichena verse, mostly it will be there. Yeah, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor Vasamchi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. So when I was looking at that, Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Satkatodaye. So the ears are given the engagement of hearing in the hearing the message of the Lord. So first, Karau, Hare Mandira Marjanadishu, in the activities like cleansing the temple of Lord Hari. So the hands want some engagement, so we are active, we are not the denial group where we deny everything and then sit quietly, but while sitting quietly we'll be contemplating. So it's better to accept the fact that I need some engagement for my hands and come and engage in cleansing. The ears are hearing the message of Achyuta. Why Achyuta means Krishna, who never falls down, hearing his Satkatodaye. Mukunda Lingalaya Darshane, seeing the deity and temples and the holy dhams of Mukunda. So the eyes are getting feast to look at. You can feast through your eyes by looking at the form of the Lord. In fact, the form of the Lord is also considered like a festival in itself. Now, how is the touch sensation getting engaged? By touching the bodies of the devotees, touching the feet of Guru and other Vaishnavas. So here an opportunity is given. When you offer flowers during Guru Puja, you touch the feet of Srila Prabhupada, take blessings. And when we do the Vaishnava pranams, we are in the mood of touching the feet of the other devotees and taking blessings. You are coming in contact with the temple, marble floor, you are getting in contact with the pure environment. I remember some of the temples in South India, they have like a hard surface, and the reason they kept it like that is when you walk on that hard surface, your feet gets lot of the feet because of walking on a hard surface, not very hard, it increases your blood flow because all the nerves end on the feet. So that's why some temples they don't put marble floors. Some of them just keep it in the traditional style in that way. In either case, you're coming in touch with the Lord's temple. So that is our courtyard. No comments. Yeah, tulasi leaves, smelling the tulasi leaves, then offering prasadam. So this whole environment for us is created by the mastermind of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami, Sheila Prabhupada. So they are capable of coming down to the level of the conditioned soul, what are they up to, and if you are caught up in the mode of ignorance, still your stomach will be hungry, you would like to come and eat some prasadam. Over a period, a person in the mode of ignorance also gets purified. And we see many times real examples where we are distributing prasadam in the temple and in crossways. A lot of time we see people who may be covered by the mode of ignorance, over a period they come and eat, and then over one day they will ask, can I do something? Can I can I take these buckets downstairs? How come this person has been coming for many months, nobody told him to? I used to think in the heart, I wish this person helps. One day, that same person, when I was lifting a big table and getting into the theatre room, I couldn't hold the theatre room's door, and he was right there. And this person, I had in my heart, hope this person helps. He's coming and taking prasadam for a long time, but then that day he asked me, oh, do you need a hand? Yes, thank you. How did this transformation happen? Nobody was preaching to him, because everybody keeps a safe distance and we don't want to. But still the transformation is happening, and they are getting out of the mode of ignorance and passion, and then over a period to the mode of goodness, then to pure goodness. There is no words in the Sanskrit with which you cannot make a mantra. There are no herbs within the earth where you cannot make a medicine. There are no persons on this earth who can be labeled as completely worthless, used for nothing. But what is really rare is that person who can put together the words in the Sanskrit to make it as a mantra. What is rare is a person who can put together the roots and the herbs and to make it as a medicine. What is rare is that person who can find the goodness in others who may not possess any good qualities. What is rare is those persons who can create a whole institution or an environment where people from different modes are getting elevated. So we have two examples. One is Lord Shiva here. When Daksha insulted Mother Sati, and Mother Sati is defending Lord Shiva and bringing about the points, she will bring about this point about how Lord Shiva is such an exalted person where he can find good qualities even if a person possesses nothing. Still he goes and gives them benediction. I forgot the technical terms. Uttama, Adi Uttama, Mahattama, like that. Gradations of good people. So Lord Shiva is in that category where even though there are no good qualities, he can go and find those good qualities and elevate them. That's why he is in the crematorium to deliver all the ghosts, hobgoblins, all that. Still he is elevating them by his presence. And who is the other personality who's very rare, who has created an institution? Ki Jai. So, such unalloyed devotees are able to show mercy to the common conditioned soul. And each one of them are so powerful that they can deliver a universe. In other words, it is the business of devotees to preach the glories of the Lord and deliver all conditioned souls to the platform of suddha, sattva. Interestingly, in the same episode of Daksha, Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati will play the role of an attached daughter, and she will start to encourage Lord Shiva to come and participate in the gathering at their father's place. Lord Shiva will remember the harsh words spoken by Daksha, and Lord Shiva will advise Mother Sati not to go, and there will be a conversation going on between these two. Lord Shiva will tell that so don't go to a place where you're uninvited. Mother Sati will tell, no, it's my father's place, still I can go uninvited, it's not a problem. Lord Shiva will warn, he will insult you with harsh words, do not go. Then Mother Parvati will say, no, he won't do that. Then she will come to a point, maybe you should have got up when my father arrived in the arena. Because she is influenced by fatherly affection, at least at that particular time. She will tell this line to, at least you could have got up and given respect to my father when he came into the assembly. At that time, Lord Shiva tells this famous verse. That time only he tells what is Suddha Sattva means. What is that platform? Sattvam visuddvam asudeva shabditam yadi yate tatra puman apavrita sattvecha tasmin bhagavan vasudevo hi adokshajo me namasa vidiyate. Sattvam visuddvam. I was meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead within my heart. That is equivalent to paying obeisances to all the living beings. I don't have to externally show respect. I am already respecting your father. Now question may arise, how long will your meditation go on? Well, Lord Shiva says that will depend on the Lord. I am meditating upon Him, so I can't say when I will come out of my meditation, but I was meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, so that's why I did not get up to pay respects. Although this is just an external gesture, but internally I was still respecting your father. He could not understand it. So in that purport, Prabhupada explains about the Suddha Sattva platform, which is again mentioned here. So Vasudeva is that platform in which Krishna appears. Is that mental state, pure state of mind where Krishna appears. Now, in the case of the conditioned soul, when the different engagements are happening, which means the sense objects are getting engaged, the senses all are getting purified by the devotional environment and the process that is there, slowly and slowly, mind will also start to think, because the verse by Ambarish Maharaj begins with Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor. I felt that the for the conditioned soul, mind may not get into thinking about Krishna straight away unless the conditioned soul's body and senses are continuously engaged in the service of the Lord. This is what I felt. I'm okay to be corrected, but for a conditioned soul, I felt directly putting the mind on the feet, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor, may not be possible, but by continuous engagement of different services, the mind will come to a point of thinking about the feet of the Lord. While he is contemplating and doing devotional services, one of the activities is also to hear the holy name, chant. So when the chanting process begins, and when a conditioned soul is exposed to seeing the form of the Lord and meditating on the feet of the Lord, that's when, by following the process which is given by the Acharyas, and by taking help of the association of the devotees, in that association and continuing to do devotional service by engaging body, mind and heart, then the grip of the modes slowly start to release. So the person who engages us in such devotional activities are the Acharya, Guru and the Vaishnavas. I was inquisitive to know about the meaning of the word Srila. What does Srila mean? Does anyone know what does Srila mean? We say Srila Prabhupada, so what does Srila mean? So Prabhupada has answered that. In a morning walk, December 21st, 1973, Los Angeles, guest is asking, Prabhupada, what is the meaning of the word Srila? Prabhupada says, Srila is just like we say Sri to the ordinary person and Srila to a very respectful person. Guest is asking, La, Prabhupada says, La, yes, Sri means beauty. And La means Leela. Shri means and La means Leela. So, one who is invested with both the beauty and the power to understand the Leela of Krishna. One who is invested with both the beauty and the power to understand the Leela of Krishna. That's what Srila means. And the Ashtotra Sada, 108, we tell, no? Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivijaka Ashtotra Sada. Why is that Ashtotra Sada added in front of Guru? That's explained in the purport by Srila Prabhupada in the Sattvam Visuttvam verse spoken by Lord Shiva. There it explains to indicate that the spiritual master is in the Suddha Sattva platform, that Ashtotra Sada is added to his name. So the Guru and the Acharyas are putting us in an environment where we are getting trained to serve the Lord, not just alone, but in the association of the devotees. Why? Because Krishna is a person and he always is with the devotees. If we have to serve Krishna as a person, we need to be trained to serve his devotees also. So that's why the whole process of serving the Lord in the association of the devotees is emphasized, because that's what you will be doing when you are in the spiritual world. Is you will be serving the Lord in the association of the devotees, and you will be serving the devotees also. If we are not comfortable with the idea of God being a person and we are fed up with every relationship in this material world, that's when we are more prone to go to the path of absolute truth, doesn't have a form, and I don't have to have a relationship with him, because relationship means problem, form means it's an illusion. So, because devotees are introduced to the transcendental form and they know that the Lord is a person and He is never alone and He is with the devotees, so they are trained to serve the Lord in the association of the devotees under the guidance of the spiritual master. That brings us to the last point of the purport, where Lord Shiva is praying for the real benediction, which is... Yes? Yes. Syat Sangamo Nugraha Esha. This prayer for getting the association of the devotees is done by many other exalted personalities within Bhagavatam. Anyone can recollect were any other devotees asking the Lord to give him the association of other devotees? Prithu Maharaj, yes? Prachetas are asking. You said Prahlad Maharaj? Yeah. So Prahlad Maharaj is also, in two instances he will say, how can I forget the instructions and the association of Narad Muni, even though I have seen you, how can I forget him? And then later on he says that, O my Lord Narasimhadev, by engaging in your devotional service in the association of the devotees who are liberated souls, Hamsas, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of the three modes of material nature and be able to chant the glories of your Lordship, who are so dear to me. I shall chant your glories following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of nescience. So, we are able to get out of the modes of existence, three modes of nature, we are able to get out of the material existence. How? By serving in the association of devotees. That is 7, 9, 18. Soham priyasya shuhruda paradevataya Leela katas nava narsimha virincha gita Anjasti tarme anagrunan guna vipra mukto Durganite padayugalaya hamsa sangha. Hamsa sangha, that's a word that is being stressed where I want to engage in your service in the association of devotees. Another key verse which came to my mind just by reading today's verse and stressing on that is Vritrasura, after having, he's just about to get killed, but still he's offering the prayers to the Lord. O my Lord, my Master, I am wandering throughout this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I seek the friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. Mama uttama shloka janeshu sakyam. So what is the result of that? My attachment to my body, wife, children and home is continuing by the spell of your external energy, but I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness and everything I have be attached only to you. So he is asking the Lord to bless him with the friendship in the association of devotees. That is 6:11:27. So that's the same mood in which Lord Shiva is praying. He has described how the feet of the Lord is capable of purifying, how the heart of the associates or the close associates and the Vaishnavas are also capable of purifying, and such Vaishnavas do not sit quiet. They have the power to deliver a whole universe. How do they do it? By giving the conditioned soul various engagements according to their different level and bring them out of the modes. Even if you are attracted to, say for example, horror movies, we can describe the pastime of Narasimhadev tearing open Hiranyakashipu, killing him, ghastly. Even if you are attracted to such kind of things, you can be purified. Krishna chopping off the head of the washerman who didn't give. Then there are several such, if you want to present it as in a ghastly way, but bringing in the divinity of Krishna, even we can present it like a child who's always having assassination attacks, and then the child has to be taken by another set of parents. He's going and living, and every time as he's growing up, he's being constantly assassination attempts have been made by different kinds of demons, and each time he kills the demons, he is being victorious, and he's growing up. There are more demons coming in the form of a snake, in the form of a crane. What else? We can bring those who are even attracted to such killing, they can also be purified. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada has given us the Krishna book with all the diagrams and the detailed explanations. So now it's up to us to take advantage of those descriptions, purify ourselves, and then according to the nature of the people that we meet, present this philosophy nicely so that the effect of purification will be there, both in them and in us. I'll stop here and see if there are any questions related to what we discussed today. If you have any? If you don't have any dreams at all, okay, so what's the question?
What does that mean? We say if we daytime scan, we dream about those things, and if we have more dreams.
So in the daytime we keep scanning, and then I don't get any dreams, so which means you're pure, I would say. You haven't dwelled on the sense objects long enough that it comes as part of your consciousness.
Last 3-4 years, no dreams at all.
Great. There is a description of the consciousness where dreamy sleep, deep sleep, kind of forgot that. Deep sleep is probably, the sleep is a time where you are actually in touch with the Lord also. You know that Turiya state of consciousness, deep sleep. So one of them is sleeping with a lot of dreams is probably indicative to passion. Alert and relaxed state is that of goodness, and sleep without dreams is probably ignorance. I'll have to double check, but that is described. So, yes.
One question. Can you just highlight the mode of pure goodness? Can you highlight the mode of pure goodness? Goodness is a pure goodness.
Yes, thank you. A difference between goodness and pure goodness. Okay, not doing any activity and being lazy is ignorance. Doing activity which with extreme effort, a lot of desires, endeavor, extreme endeavor, passion,
doing active, so passion also, you may or may not follow the scriptural injunctions when you're doing those activities, and the result you want to enjoy. Goodness is you follow the scriptural injunctions and you do it as a matter of duty. The object of worship need not be the Supreme Lord. You could be a pious person following the scriptural injunctions and still be in the mode of goodness, and you're doing it as a matter of duty. Now, Shuddha Sattva means you're following the scriptural injunctions, you're acting according to the Lord's instruction given by Him. The main difference is the motivation is to just please the Lord. So that's what differentiates. So you're still following the rules, you're doing whatever devotional activities that you're doing under the guidance of the spiritual master just to please the Lord. Shuddha Sattva. You can read further in, I'll tell the verse number. Because in that particular section where Lord Shiva is talking to Mother Parvati, he will describe the Shuddha Sattva platform. 4:3:23. Sattvam Vishuddhvam. Yes. In that purport, Prabhupada talks about, in pure devotional service, one simply serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a matter of duty without reason and without being impeded by material conditions. This is called Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva, because it is in that stage the Supreme Person Krishna is revealed in the heart of the devotee. Without any personal motivations, you're still doing the same activities. You want to add to that Shuddha Sattva platform? What is the characteristics? So that's the purport in which this Ashtotra Sada is also explained. Why that is getting added to the spiritual master's name is because to indicate that he is in that platform. Can we? Can we dream still? We may not remember. Yeah, it could be. We may have dreams and you may not remember. But thanks for bringing up the dreams point. In the Gajendra's prayer section, that if you happen to have a bad dream, you can think about Gajendra, the pastime, the Lord rescuing him. That whole section, one of the Falastuti is that it removes the effect of bad dreams. Now, 10 minutes or 15 minutes before you go to sleep, if you are able to, that is the time where it's just like taming a bull or a very harsh animal, where that's a time, whatever you feed in, at that period of time, that has a significant impact on what you will be munching on during the dream or what comes up. Is if that 10 to 15 minutes is dedicated by recollecting about the Lord's mercy or reading some strong spiritual sound vibration or story or anything that has got a strong impact, if that goes in, or any prayers to the Lord, I personally do prayers to Lord Narasimhadev before sleep. So, especially the prayers which Prahlad Maharaj offers to Lord Narasimhadev to remove the ignorance from the core of the heart, that actually helps. We are talking more in terms of prevention. Over and above, you have done everything and still you are getting affected by it. So Prabhupada describes in one of the purports that sometimes whatever reactions that you have to get physically may be given to you through dreams. Whatever you may have to suffer physically, you would have gone through some kind of, can be reduced, and you may experience it through dreams. So, if you get a bad dream, think about Gajendra's prayers and Lord rescuing Gajendra and the picture and all that. And then prevention is obviously engaging in devotional service. And then the last 10 to 15 minutes before you go to bed, you kind of wind down the mechanism of the mind which is going here and there. Listen to a nice Prabhupada's kirtan. I had this profound experience in Mayapur where while studying Bhakti Shastri, I had the fortune to live near the Goshala, and it's a very, very, very quiet environment where in that environment, hearing to Prabhupada's songs, Samsara Dava song or Brahma Samhita or whatever song, so according to the environment that you are in, you need to create that winding down period for yourself, then that will help manage the turbulent times that you've had during the day. At least that period is quite helpful. So at that time when you are quite pacified, and at that time you can take resolutions that, okay, I will follow the regulative principles, I will chant my rounds attentively, I will get up for Mangalarti, I will behave nicely with the other Vaishnavas. So that is the time when the mind is pacified and is willing to listen to what you as a soul are meant to do. So when that goes in, so that's what the rest of the sleep you will be working on, and that will emerge. So you are kind of dictating what you should be doing the next day. You're programming your mind by feeding in all these resolutions. But before that, you do the pacifying part, where whatever suits you. For me, it's like prayers or Prabhupada songs. For someone else, it could be something else. So the principle is for taming that wild bull, so you need to calm it down, and then take those resolutions or whatever you want to do, whatever directions you want to do, because initiated for many years, but still the old bad habits come up. So you're just confronted with all those old habits and thoughts and all this. How do we confront them is when you're about to go to sleep. So probably that's the best time where you confront your conditioning on one side, and the other side is the Lord's mercy, Guru's mercy. Recollect on instances where the Lord helped you out of a danger or any. So that will actually soften the heart. You recollect an incident where you would have definitely got into trouble, but somehow you were saved by the devotees or by the Lord's mercy. So if you are able to recollect that, and the heart is, so you just, if you're putting too much emphasis on the conditioning and not looking at the power of Lord and His benedictions and things that had happened in your own life by the Lord's intervention, if you think about that, so where do you want to give more weightage? So that's a period when say, look, we are so conditioned, But still the Lord is intervening in our life through devotees, through the spiritual master, and in your own life you have had these incidents. It's like shaking us up and then telling that, okay, this is how much the Lord is merciful. So that part, that is like taking care of a child. You tame the child down and then you start to teach what the child is doing. So this I feel is effective in getting out of bad dreams and things like that, plus helping us to get the resolution to follow the regulatory principles and do whatever devotional activities we want to. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Sheila